Yo, Zeller on the book face. How's it going, mate? Welcome to a special special stream. All right. Raiding party attacking. Oops. Yo, what is up, guys? I am just getting everything into place, I think. Hopefully. Hey, DJ Tastic, thank you for the follow. How's it going, guys? We'll get started here in just a second. Oh. I went ahead and your opponent, thank you for the follow as well. So I went ahead and took the liberty of taking the screws out of here in advanced time. Obscure Machines, thank you too for the follow, mate. Thank you all. Welcome, everybody. So we got the, this is the Nava. It's a TR909 clone, basically a one-to-one clone. Even got the cool little cherry switches. Drum operator, thank you for the follow. Oh, that reminds me. I went and pulled your thing up, but I don't think I did the same, so let me hit that back. Boom. Done. We have arrived! Yes! Welcome, everybody. So, let's get to the sexiness here. I don't want to waste time. So you can, if you do !Nava, hopefully I'm not wrong, you can get the link for this. There's also a link on my Twitch below. You can check out. Navas are hell of it's a lot of work. I mean, we spent about 50 hours on the stream building this, and then maybe another 10 or 20 more altogether. So it was, I gotta take this off. I'm just now remembering. It was really a lot of labor. So if you pay someone to do it, they either are good buddies of yours, or you're paying a lot of money for it. Oh good, the link did work. Yay! I should have taken these off. My bad, guys. I totally spaced that's how this board is mounted. But I've gotten pretty good at taking this thing apart and putting it back together. So hopefully luck will be on our side. But the company that makes this, or the person that makes this, really, E-licktronics, they also sell an 808 clone, and I've been thinking about getting that. So I can't remember how much the kit cost me, but I want to say I spent about 600 US in parts and to buy it. So that kind of gives you an idea of where the labor would fall in. Uh-oh. Is my mic cutting out? Nah. Just taking hits. Oh yeah, I did do this, so maybe I can get by with just popping these headers off. But that was a great set, by the way. I caught a little bit of it as I was getting everything put together. That was some good stuff. Nice rig, by the way. That's what they all say. But that's what they all tell you. Nice rig. This is some legit content. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I do jams and I do music on the weekend. Normally we do this Tuesdays through Thursdays. We do builds and electronic stuff. And then on Sunday, sometimes Saturday too, we'll do Jam Town, which is just music. Let me see if I can get to this easier if I pop this one off. So I just wanted to take it apart and show you guys and fix a couple of things real fast while I got it apart. Show you guys what's going on inside here. I have the schematics, and we'll just kind of go back and forth real fast and go, you know, this is where the bass comes from. This is where the funk comes out of. This is where it makes you clap your hands. This is what makes people dance. All those sections on it. All right. Is that, oh, scheisse. That's right. We got this stupid power switch. And I totally, oh well. Yo, Moonhouse AV. Thank you for the follow. AV department. Oh, thank you for the host as well. I will just leave this because it's not gonna hurt us. Oh, that one is though. That's when I think AV department. Prior to COVID, I was a freelance audio engineer, and I worked for a lot of different little AV departments. So when I see that, I think like, which outfit are you with? All right, can we see all this? All right, yeah, that's pretty good. Excuse me, just one second here. Sorry. All right. What's a real 909 go for in Osland? Yeah. Hair's on point. Yeah, this took a long time. We're not going to... This is just the component side. The other side is where all the solder and all the knobs and everything are. We're not going to go that deep because it just takes a long time to disassemble. We have to take all the caps off the knobs. And then there's nuts and washers. That'll be the whole damn stream. It's an hour of disassembling and reassembling this. Oh, I didn't. All right. So here's the whole diddly-do. Let me switch over to the schematics just so we can kind of follow on. So the schematics are... they're put into multiple pages here, and this format is, if you're not familiar with schematics at all, this format is great, but it's very, very confusing. But you have to do it for complex systems, and by confusing, it's not all on one page. There's all these calls that are made. Like you'll see these little tags here, and you'll eventually have to find where that tag is. And it may be on the same page or it may be on a different page. Hey, information Ray! Thank you. I appreciate it. A follow. Like for example here, here's the main, so the whole thing is processed by an AT Mega. Like here's your display. This part controls the contrast and the brightness stuff. And then these four inputs here are actually what creates the lettering and everything like that. So you see D4, 5, 6, 7, and here it is, D4567 on the AT Mega. So there's, instead of drawing the lines to it like you normally would, there's a lot of just little tags or whatever the heck they're called. Hey Dax, how's it going? How's it going, mate? Avdept? Yeah, so most people say. Yeah, for the longest time when I play online, people would say my name, SYD Hershey. And I'm like, that's not even kind of close. I don't even know where to start. I'm just gonna let you call me Hershey. SYD, yeah, that's where I'm from, the city of Sid. But this is the sequencer. It's really just a lot of multiplexing and a lot of switching. There's a lot of this kind of matrixing that goes on here, which looks pretty complicated, but really it's not. It's just elaborate. But that's how the sequencer works, and that is this section all right here. The schematic that we looked at is this whole section. Yeah, you can see the dotted line. Well, that's not it. But yeah, this whole area here is what we were just looking at. Sydney here, she's Chocolate Stream. Chocolate Stream. Coming down in your dreams. That's not the right key. Or notes. Or anything. Alright, anyways, yeah, this is the whole, so that's basically what we just looked at there. If we go to this part here, we've got the bass, which is everyone's favorite part of the 909. And there's a lot going on to kind of generate it. I'm not going to go over it because I don't even know where it is really. Functionally speaking, these are your power inputs here. Here's your trigger for that triggers the actual whole thing. And that's coming in from our sequencer. And then you have the accent for the hard hits. And that's basically it. The rest is how the kick generates that tone and sound or anything like that. And then you have your output. And then that bad boy is right here. Pull it over a little better. All that is just this little section here. You can notice this wire, it's a bodge wire that had to be done, I don't know. There's a bunch of mods, but this thing's as big as it is. I was really scared when I built it because all I could find was forum posts with people having problems. But apparently that was then, and I got the fixed version. There wasn't even a key. It's at the daughter board with a couple of glob tops on it. It's a hell of a lot of just for a kick. So this little board off to the side here is the power and the interface board, if that's what I think you're referring to. Let's see. Let's keep rolling here. So what do we have? We have the snare. The snare is kind of, let me make sure. Yeah, so the snare is, it's got this dotted line. So it's this whole section here. So it's physically about the same size, about maybe 20%, possibly larger than what the bass drums area takes up. And if you guys notice, and we'll kind of go over it. So there's if you've ever done any electronics, you'll see a lot of ICs like this, but you don't see a lot of these. And this is one of the new old stocks that comes with when you buy this. And it's something that Roland did a lot. They loved these SIP packages. So like this particular one here, we'll get to it later, but it's part of the hand clap. It's like one of the most sought after parts to get the classic 303 sound. When I used to build Zox boxes, I would scour eBay to try to find as many of these as I could because they don't even all sound the same. And so when I do the Zox, I'd have to go through and swap them out to see which one the client liked or I liked or whatever. And they're all over this thing, and it's so crazy because I don't know, you never see SIP packages anymore. SIP, so So these are SIPs for single inline package. What you normally see here are DIPs for dual inline package. And that goes for surface mount stuff too. It's all the same. But here's the snare in schematic form. Here, let me pull my stupid head out of the way to make room, because it's kind of big. But effectively, it's the same thing. We have our trigger input here. These transistors basically switch it so that the power goes in, and then you have your accent here for the accent hits. And then the rest of it is a shit ton of sound generators. I thought it pulls noise from the noise generator, but I'm thinking just the clap does that. And then there's your output. That's all there is. Alex, these videos about. Hey, thank you, mate. Thank you. All right. And yeah, I guess we'll go to the low toms. So the schematic's kind of out of order. Let me skip that. Let's see. What is this? That's the crash. Hat. I'd like to get. So. So this should be. So here's our hand clap. Screw it. This is the noise circuit, but it's upside down, obviously. This is just a simple white noise generator that the clap pulls in. Pull my fat ace out. So the clap pulls in as part of its source. And again, you just have the trigger for the hand clap. It's just a bunch of envelopes, essentially. There's a little bit more. Here's the part that I'm just talking about, the BA6110. I don't know. I can't quite remember the whole part of it, but it's a magical op amp. Let's go to it though. So the whole parts that we just looked at here, here's the noise section here. Yeah, there's where it says it. And then here's our hand clap. So it's just a bunch of these. They're literally like little white noise generators, and then there's some caps to kind of tune it out, if I recall. And then that's just fed right over to these guys for the hand clap sound. Again, there's that classic Roland VCA. And let's see. We'll go ahead. So the next section here is the rim shot. It's pretty uninteresting. It's pretty simple. We'll go ahead and jump to that, and we'll look back at the schematics for the high tom, mid tom, and low tom. They're all the same. They take up such an enormous amount, and they're very similar, if you'll notice, in component count. If you can see the dotted line, there's 5 SIPs here, there's 5 SIPs here, there's 4 SIPs here. Oh no, I'm sorry, there is 5. So and one dip, which I believe is the VCA part. Yeah. So they're almost identical, and that's why I didn't want to like do it one-on-one, because it's not going to be as interesting. We'll just stick with the low tom, because like I said, there's not much other than component differences. And then effectively, same thing. Trigger in. Oh, yeah, there is a noise for that too. I forgot. That's what the noise is for too, to feed the toms. And then again, it just comes out. Nothing too weird or special. So we'll get to, and that's all of them. We'll get to the ride. So this might be something that might be interesting. So the ride, the crash, which is going to be sideways, but it's still the same thing, and the hi-hat. If you notice, they all use this giant IC, and it's a PCM chip. So, don't break it, Sid. I know, that's my biggest fear is I put this together and I'm like, all right, let's play some stuff. Okay, this isn't working. I'm knocking on wood as hard as I can. So this might be interesting. All three of those parts are samples. There's no sound generator at all. They're recorded sounds on these ICs. If we go over to them, when you get the kit, it comes with these ICs, and they're color-coded so you can know which spot to put it in. Although it would have been nice just to write the words crash, hat, and ride on it, but color coding's cool too, I guess. How's it going, Atrophius? How you yourself? But if we go back here real fast, the way that, so you have like, the hat's a little different because you're basically controlling little envelopes. This is the ride, and the crash is basically the same thing. You have one knob. I was trying to remember where it was because it keeps kind of hiding on me. But you essentially have one knob that controls, there it is, your speed. And so this feeds this little clock, and the clock runs through and goes in like a quick array and jumps through the bits of the sample. So just like an old sampler, if you play those bits slower, it pitches it down, it extends the length, but it's a ride sample, you don't notice. Your opponent, I was asking earlier, I remember hearing that the 909 was the first drum where Roland used samples. It was in direct competition with the Lin, maybe. That does sound familiar now that you mention it. It's an odd point of contention in that world. I don't really care, man. I just want beats, but yeah, that does sound really familiar. You see if there's any. The rest of this kind of goes off into little parts like the MIDI interface. Like here we have, and that's on that little daughter board. You have your MIDI interface, and what's kind of cool here is we have our DIN sync for start, stop, and clock. So that's kind of cool, but the rest is just boring old MIDI. Here's all our inputs. Now, one thing that is kind of neat with this, and we'll go ahead and start putting it back together, hopefully, is so you have all these little cables here, and these are all, maybe I can show this a little better. Yeah, let's look at this. So you have all these little these little 4-pin headers here, and they all are the individual outputs. So all the sounds come from the different points on the board and feed into this daughter board. That's driving me nuts. This thing is highlighted all weird. Oh, well. There we go. They all feed into this little daughter board, and then it's sent back down here into a mixer on the board, and it's essentially submixed that way. So when you plug something in, it pulls it out of its little submix chain, which is kind of a, I don't know, maybe that's a common thing. I haven't taken apart or built a lot of drum machines in my life, but I thought that was kind of an interesting way to do that. Hey, yo, Agent 808. Howdy. Thank you for the follow. All right, let me put these ribbon cables back in. Say a little prayer that this still works when I put it back together. Just to save myself a little bit of face, I'm going to turn this on before I put all the screws in to make sure it lights up and does what expected. Because once you put all the screws in, that's when it's going to fail on you. After you're done. Oh shoot, I'm missing some stuff here. Rim shot is a class. Oh, we did miss the rim shot though, didn't we? Let me just show you the schematic on that. It's actually a little bit kind of interesting. I don't know how interested you guys are in looking at schematics and having them looked at with a guy who isn't an electrical engineer or anything like that, just a hobbyist, and going, that's probably for the sound. That's where the sound comes out. This is where the sound goes in. But here, we can look at this real quick. It's the same basic process, but what is actually, you know what, it is kind of neat because this is a very simple circuit. You could, yo, the Earth's moon. Thanks for the follow. So this is, yeah, you could even breadboard this yourself, and I recommend it too. If you have any, if you have an electric, you can actually get on Amazon and stuff pretty easily. I'm a big, you know, come to the channel down the road. I can help if you're interested at all. This would be a great thing to build when I think about it, because it's really, really simple. It doesn't look it, but it's not that bad. And then you get that kick-ass rim shot. Ba-dum-bum. Brian, the crash came from the same symbol. Oh, the pasty Formula 602. Hey, cool. That's good to know. Ride is actually a crash. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I love the 909 ride too. I have a. We'll hopefully run into it. I have like a Step Tech Jungle Beat, and I've got that ride doing the. Oh wait, let me put 2 of these on, and then I'll do the test because these will also determine how many I put these on, if it's going to work when I plug it in or not. All right. Yeah, you're talking about cost. Someone was asking me like how much I would charge to build one of these, and I was like a couple grand. That sounds like a reasonable price for the amount of time spent. Is that too high? So picked up from the 602 hats, waiting to the right crash to come up. I just make crashes with layered samples. Right. It's like a complicated mess to mess with me. Tech stepper. All right. Here we go. Does it light up? Still works. All right, let me put a little bit more of it together. I won't go nuts. How are we doing on time? We're actually not doing too bad, so maybe I'll go a little nuts. It'd just be nice to not break this, I guess. Here. By trying to rush. Thank you. Yeah, such a sweet looking build. I really liked it. This is like the second big one I've really built. The other one that was like a big gamble. Like I spent some money and I hope I get it to work, you know. And it's. I don't recommend things like these for first time builders at all. I made a lot of Bush League mistakes, and they took a long time to fix. And I think if it was somebody's first time, they would probably be prone to the same Bush League mistakes. And it may be even harder for them to fix. But in the same breath, I think if you built a few guitar pedals, or I assume if you're making a drum machine, you probably have a couple of Euro rack or some sort of modular. There's plenty of cool stuff you can get out there to build. All right. Put this capper on. But yeah, the thing I really like about this drum machine is it's really easy to play on. And I've never used an 808. I'm very tempted. I think I mentioned already, the company that developed this also makes an 808 clone. And I wasn't as interested because I just, since I was a kid, I want a 909. I want a 909. Do you build Eurorack stuff? Yes, we do. We're working on right now on the channel. We've been fixing stuff in my modular, but we're working on this Junger Haubel living VCO that I got, and it has, the panel is Eurorack, and what I've been doing in the past is my whole system is frac rack, and I've been making my own panels, either with I used to use Front Panel Express, and then I got a CNC machine and I've been using that. But the CNC machine recently took a big break, and now I'm trying to, while I'm waiting for that to get to, I can't get in touch with the company. I don't know, I'm gonna have to find some DIYers maybe. But anyways, in the meantime, I figured all these things that I have that I was gonna make frac rack, I could just buy the Euro panels for, power them 15-volt frac like I normally would, and then once that thing's built, I can transfer them over. But for the sake of having fun on the channel and sanity and all that, I'm just gonna do Euro for a little while. I can buy rails and power supplies really cheap, and been thinking about doing this build forever. E-licktronics is doing one last run of the Nava. Oh, good to know. Is the clap spot on if you use the original chip? I thought so. You have to adjust the clap a little bit when you first set it up. But I don't know. I really like it. It's probably my favorite part. Most of the time on Jamtown stuff, I just routed it straight to the reverb. I pulled it out so I could bring up stuff and it'd be like bump bum bum bum, you know, big O 80s beast. All right, let's see if it comes on again. All right, came on twice. That's a good sign. Question: with the gear after the release of the 909, did newest gear just sample the 909 or do some use circuitry for the sound? You know, that's a good question. I think it was probably reverse engineered to get the sounds, because you can pull the PCM data if you want. It's not destructively stored. Oh yeah, I'm just grabbing this volume. So my guess it would be that they pulled it and then you can reflash it. For the most part, this is a one-to-one clone. There's probably some difference. I mean, obviously, they didn't have an AT Mega running it before, so there's your first one. All right. Get the volume going here. Maybe. Oh wait. Let's get rid of this. So, let's see. Let me find a... It's going to cycle down. This is my favorite. You just get a vocoder going and a couple of pads. Break out that cardboard, cut it. Show your best boy or your best girl who rules the streets. You almost hear it. So this is a lot of the time what I like to do. I'll with it, and I think is what makes it really musical. Here, let me pull my stupid face out. So you've got the, well, here's that clap you were asking about, mate. So there's the clap. There's no other knobs. There's just a volume. It does sound sweet. Here, I'll even mute my mic so we can enjoy it. So, what I like about this thing is, or what I do most of the time is I'll write a beat and then I'll have it synced or whatever, and I'll just be like, and you just, I mean, that's what makes it really musical. These cherry switches. Oh yeah, these don't have any toms. Here's the hats that are kind of cool. And that's what I was talking about. It's just, oh, you get that Miami Sound Machine sound. The opening of Miami Vice. Oh, we're not going to get stuck in that hole again. Here, I'm going to take these back off. You going to bend it someday? I doubt it. If that's talking to me. It was too hard to get it working. To bend it would just be 2 steps back. There we go. This has so you've got your open hat. It's such a simple function, but I really dig it because there's a lot of variety that you can get with the play, and you still have accent hits and so forth. And then I got to show off my other favorite here. I don't know if you got some low end going. Pretty good. It's all the way down. You've got the tone control too. Here, I'll even get rid of the hat so we can. I'm a dork with these. There's a download song. I want to say it's download, or maybe I'm thinking of Plateau. Either way, I know it when I hear it, and it has these toms in it, and it's good stuff. We'll play with the kick a little bit here. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. Right here, we'll just. So the kick has your tune. There's a lot of dead play, it seems like. I may have to mess with that. And then you have your attack, which oddly works opposite from a regular attack. So the more you up, the more attack occurs. Oh yeah, we should accent. You're right, mate. Let's Oh, the first one's accented. There you go. Now you got 2 accents, baby. You got 2. But anyways, yeah, that's... And then the more you turn that up, the more decay. You can get some crazy... I'm more into the booty house personally. I gotta get those big booty house basses. Can the sequencer swing? Yes. It's actually, supposedly it's better. I don't know. So we have to go into step edit. I know this screen's a little hard to see. And then you have shuffle mode, and you should be able to see this little guy. So that's shuffled all the way. That's about half. And then there's straight again. Oh yeah, we're in, so we'll clear this beat out real fast. Oh, here, we can just do it. So, in case you guys have never, forgive me if I'm being condescending, because I'm sure most people know how this works, but for those who don't, so that it has to be in a play state when you change it, which is kind of weird, but I'll press down a button and I can choose bass drum, toms, all that. So let me get rid of the snares. I'm going to choose the snare. You can probably see the highlights. If you hold down clear as it runs through the sequence, it'll pull it out. Clear the tom out. And then let's get rid of that clap. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of the ride too. For the open ride, it's the 2 at the same time. It's kind of funky. So we'll go to kick, because that's what we need. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of hit random. I've been doing that a lot to make some fun, tricky beats. Because to quote Tricky, if you listen to it long enough and you smoke enough weed, it sounds alright. And I can't argue with that. Yo, I missed that. What was that? Yo, the Earth's moon. Thank you for the follow. Wait, that was already. There it is. The entire robot. Hey, rock and roll. Thank you for the follow. So there you go. You got your hat. And then another cool thing with this, besides the step sequencer, you can also use tap mode, which I like to do for hats. There we go. And then let's give the clap some attention. It says I'm on the clap. That can't be true. Oh yeah, I'm not. We're not going to make like the greatest rhythm ever beseeched the ears of humankind. Wow, sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm now the entire robot. Ought. Were you just a robo before? I can dig that. Alright. So let's do some Tom Love here. Just actually let's do it in tap mode because it's more fun. Oh yeah, let's do the rim shot too. Rim shot. Oh, I got my camera off. I'm missing the dance. All right. And then we got to hear the crash in the ride, right? I'm gonna stay in tap mode, or go to back to tap mode. Huh. Did I mute that? Oh, weird. I might have disconnected the ride. Oh yeah, I may not have connected those. I don't hear them. Here. Oh, I thought we heard some earlier though. That's funny. Oh well. Unless, no. Yeah, I think I forgot to connect something. Because these symbols should be coming through. Oh well. Although it's gonna bug me. Oops, me, yeah. I'm thinking that's what it is. I hope it's got to be something simple, because I remember too the way that it's like all those ribbon cables I showed earlier, that there were the different sounds. I probably plugged in most of them, but not all of them. Still cool. I'll tell you what. I'll bring back in the music and we'll see if we can fix it really fast before we're done. We got 10 minutes. We don't have to take the nuts off the back. We just have to take the case off. And then you'll get, for anyone who's new to the stream, you get the full experience of Sid here. I'm like, oh, I left my car keys inside. Inside what? Inside the synth. How? Why? It looked hungry. I don't know. Oh my gosh, come out, little screw. It's a race against the clocks, folks. Four-time digs. Wait, what? 16 steps, 16 patterns, 16 banks. Yeah, it has, so it's all stored and there's a bank button that switches the banks, so you get 16 by 16 essentially. As far as the memory goes, if I'm remembering correct. Well, I was just reading the manual recently. It's a horrible manual. I'm just gonna go on record for that. It could be a lot better. Alright. Turn this around so I can figure out what I forgot to plug in. Let's see. So the ride is on this side. Ooh, it's so warm in here. All this analog love. Well, it looks like it was plugged in all the way. So let's try again. Well, ugh. All right. Well, symbols work. I forgot it pops when you turn it on. Tempo. Oh wait, config. My usual, I have it slaved, so I always have to reset that. All right, let's hit play. All right, let's see if we can get these symbols working again. God. Well, then we know what we're doing later on today in the stream. I guess. Aw, still not coming out. Oh yeah, the cable's not long enough, I forgot. Weird. Let me throw the crash on too, just to make sure it's both of them, because they share together. And I remember this. From before when we're gonna put it together. So the crash works. Unless I don't do it unless someone rolls sound. Yeah. This only has one sound, so I do what I can. All right. Let's go back to. You can get some coolness with the snare, though, I've noticed. Yeah, with rolls, like you were saying there. Oh, wait, let's switch. Yeah, like that. Rock and roll. Does it flam? So it does. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. It does have a flam, but I have not really messed with that. Because, yeah, you have a shuffle flam button here, but all I get is the shuffle value. So yeah, maybe. That's a good question. And you know what it does? So I think it does, but I know it does. I just haven't sent. I'm still kind of learning this thing, to be honest with you. I haven't even touched stringing any of this stuff together to create like patterns or any of that. I haven't even tried anything like that. But that's something we'll probably be doing later on the show, like on the weekends. But all right, I think it's about time for me to raid. Let's see. Yes. Take this out. In vain 420. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over here in just a second. I'm trying to press the buttons as fast as I can. And but thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you for all the new follows, guys. It's really cool. Really appreciate it. I'm here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I'll be streaming again in a couple of hours, and I'm here those days. And then on Sundays, I do a stream as well. Where it's just music, where we're working on music, but on the weekdays we're just doing electronics builds and stuff like that. And I encourage anybody to come by and hang out. If you're new, if you're interested, if you're electronic curious, whatever, feel free to chill. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's good stuff. Your opponent. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, your opponent. Yeah, I'm glad this worked out for everybody and we could do this. This was really cool. Well, you guys take care, and I'll see you cats later on.